What happens when Bob's loyal fox companion is hurt, and the gentle Yeti must summon all his love to heal a friend? This is the story of Fox in Trouble, a tender tale of care, community, and the strength of empathy. One morning, the forest echoed with hurried footsteps. The children raced toward Bob's den, calling his name in frightened voices. In their small arms lay the fox, limp, his paw twisted, his fur tangled and matted with dirt. His amber eyes fluttered weakly. "Bob!" the children cried. "He's hurt!" Bob burst from his den, towering and wide-eyed. His chest tightened at the sight. He dropped to his knees, his great hands trembling as he scooped the fox gently into his arms. "Little one," Bob whispered, rocking him close. His deep voice cracked with worry. "I fix. I promise." The children clung to one another, watching their gentle guardian cradle his dearest friend. Bob carried the fox to a quiet clearing, the soft moss glowing faintly in dappled sunlight. He laid him carefully on the ground, brushing his fur smooth with one enormous paw. Bob wasted no time. He gathered herbs from his pouch and pressed them into poultices. He brewed bitter teas from mountain plants, steam curling into the cool air. He hummed a deep, soothing tune, low notes that rumbled like a heartbeat, steady and strong. But his paws trembled. Every whimper from the fox pierced his chest like a blade. The children rushed to help, fetching buckets of water from the stream. The cryptids emerged from the trees, eyes filled with worry, arms full of wild herbs and roots, and the town doctor, called quickly by the children, arrived with satchels of salves and bandages. Together they worked, humans, cryptids, and one anxious Yeti. Not as strangers, not as rivals, but as family. As Bob wrapped the fox's paw in soft linen, memories stirred like echoes from long ago. He saw a Yeti elder, bending low to wrap his paw when he was just a cub, after a tumble on sharp rocks. He heard gentle songs sung in the echoing caves of his people, notes of comfort, of belonging. He felt again the warmth of kin gathered close around a fire, their hands steady, their voices kind. Bob leaned close to the fox, whispering words as if they were a vow. "They cared for me. I care for you." The children, listening with wide eyes, felt their own hearts swell. This was not just healing. This was memory. This was love. This was legacy. The days that followed were slow and tender. Each morning, Bob checked the fox's paw, unwrapping the bandages with careful fingers and humming softly as he cleaned the wound. The children took turns bringing fresh water, apples, and bits of bread. They told the fox silly stories to keep his spirit high. The cryptids stood guard at night, their glowing forms a watchful circle of safety. The doctor returned often, guiding Bob's steady but clumsy hands, teaching him patience in every knot and fold of cloth. And through it all, Bob never left the fox's side. He sang to him. He held him. He carried him when the fox was too weak to walk. "Step by step," Bob whispered. "We do together." Slowly, the fox began to heal. At first, he wobbled when he tried to stand, his injured paw trembling beneath him. Bob crouched low, holding him steady, whispering encouragement with every tiny step. Day by day, the fox grew stronger. He limped at first, then walked, then trotted with tail held high. The children clapped and cheered, running alongside him in joy. The cryptids hummed and chirped in celebration, their strange voices like music in the trees. When the fox barked happily again for the first time, the whole town cheered. Bob's eyes filled with tears, shining as he whispered, "He is strong, stronger than me." The children shook their heads firmly, smiling up at him. "No, Bob, he's strong because of you." The fox had been saved, not by Bob's strength alone, but by patience, love, and the care of a community that stood together. In the forest clearing, a truth had been written. Healing is not only about mending wounds, but about sharing burdens. Bob's heart had carried the fox through, and in return the fox's bright spirit carried Bob too. For in every bandage, every song, every shared tear, the town learned again what made their gentle guardian irreplaceable, not power, not size, but love. If Bob's love for his fox reminded you of the power of care, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Yeti Bob stories.